Fresh God. Yo. What is you doing? Under influence, alcohol, trees, and some other stuff. Walking my shoes, you ain't hard enough. Starting off, my life is Mardi Gras mixed with a Vegas ball, crazy dog. God. I want the future, but still got the 80s vibe. My jacket is acid, recycle my fashion. My lyrics is classic, I write with a passion. Why action backwards in a plastic cup? Check my vernacular, so far ahead, need binoculars. Look it. Wesley Snipes mixed with some Dracula. Rap is my whip and I clap you up. Glad you up. Now I can knock you back down to the catacombs. Take a deep breath, this ain't had enough. Had enough with these little fakes out here acting up. Smack you up, jack you up, then I swerve off in a jack you. I toss you up, passive. I've been diesel, gas you up. Girl in my passenger, ain't acting lavish. You'll eat all my kids on some savage stuff. Cause she don't know I'm about to bet it. All in, throw it up like confetti. Big old titty looking sweaty. Motherfucker, I said it. Don't go Pilates, she's stretching that body. Brazen fridge like the Holy Bible. God, look at God. Fresher than a motherfucker. Ain't scared, but I still use a rubber. Too many sunsets it is. Always biting and jacking my shit. I can't blame them, they trying to live. Me too, I just eat vitamins. Chief and medical up in my crib. With my lady, I'm up in her ribs. No BBQ, but she might need a bib. Look at God. Bad ass, but that waist kinda slim. Look at God. He meant thick, but she keeping it trim. Look at God. She a star, I put her on film. Damn, the lights for the night have a feel for the pipe fresh. She don't know I'm about to bet it. All in, throw it up like confetti. Big old titty looking sweaty. Motherfucker, I said it. Don't go Pilates, she stretching that body. Brazen fridge like the Holy Bible. God. Look at God. God. Look at God. Look at God. God. Look at God. God. Look at God.
DC, holding it down. That's how we gonna do it. You out there getting it. You about yours. 9 to 5, out on the block. Doesn't matter how you get it, as long as you out there getting it. Cause we all out here trying to survive. I know I am. So this one here's for you.
Grinding on the daily, never stopping till the death of me. I hustle hard and always kept it G. Cause man, I'm on a mission. Yeah, I'm on a mission. Ballin' every day, purple blazing so magnificent. Won't stop till we sitting higher than the rent. Until then, I'm on a mission. Yeah, I'm on a mission. Mind always on the hustle, got the heart of a lion. 50 cents to my name, gotta get rich or die trying. You see my mom's crying, struggling to stay afloat. It hurts my soul, so I numb it down with this endo smoke. So I'm going for broke, cause I don't give a fuck. Some say life's a gamble, my ride or die is lady luck. Search on the daily for bucks, that's always been the mission. Laugh in the face of these lames for thinking they competition. Ain't got a pot to pissin', so I shit on all these rappers, claiming they life is a movie when really them dudes is actors. Them dudes just ain't a factor. I keeps it moving, pimpin', sliding past all those who wanna see me fall but never trippin'. My flows, they got you trippin'. Junkyard, I'm representing. I scream it till the day I die, homie, don't get it twisted. Twisting up something that best believe gon' have me lifted. Clear third eye vision, envision that impossible's the mission. Grinding on the daily, never stopping till the death of me. I hustle hard and always kept it G. Cause man, I'm on a mission. Yeah, I'm on a mission. Ballin' every day, purple blazing so magnificent. Won't stop till we sitting higher than the rent. Until then, I'm on a mission. Yeah, I'm on a mission. Chico 007, a secret agent on a mission, no competition. Cause my diction gon' be the new addiction. Stop and listen and realize I'm what the game's been missing. The thought of ever stopping that shit for the lames pimping. I'm trying to be lane switching. I'm chrome with bass kicking. Gripping that wood grain with the candy paint dripping. Pedal to the floor, speeding past y'all towards my destiny. Child of bebop and boom bap, beat the beat. No one is better. Be pedigree of the highest, recipe of the flies. Cooking that killer that once you try it, you can't deny it. 100 always I keep it. Right what's best, kept secret. Off with they head for thinking against Chico, they competing. I do mean that completely. Hold it down for 954. Fresh to death up in all aspects. Them J's and hoes, we hit them slow. Chico and team, we finna blow. Now I'm committed with the third eye vision. Envision that impossible's the mission. Grinding on the daily, never stop until the death of me. I hustle hard and always kept it G. Cause man, I'm on a mission. Yeah, I'm on a mission. Ballin' every day, purple blazing so magnificent. Won't stop till we sitting higher than the rent. Until then, I'm on a mission. Yeah, I'm on a mission. Grinding on the daily, never stop until the death of me. I hustle hard and always kept it G. Cause man, I'm on a mission. Yeah, I'm on a mission. Ballin' every day, purple blazing so magnificent. Won't stop till we sitting higher than the rent. Until then, I'm on a mission. Yeah, I'm on a mission.
Rap Vet Live, we're back after 3 weeks of being absent. After 3 weeks of being absent.
I know you miss our presence.
I mean, nobody misses us. That's okay, though. You don't have to miss us. You don't have to miss us. But we had to take some time off for family and Jubilee. So I hope everybody had a good holiday and a good New Year's. And I hope that if you are trying to stay off cigarettes or alcohol or weed or hit the gym more or not cheat on your wife or husband or try not to get any more DUIs, that I hope that you have stuck with your plans in 2018 so far. And if you're trying to make money, that should be no matter what year you're in. Anyway, so we're discussing the grind, right? This is for rappers, you know what I'm saying, by rappers. And the grind part on the website, rapveterans.com, that you can go to, and everything we're going to talk about is on there. And we're going to play some guys that when we used to do a lot of reviews, some artists that were really good and stuck out. In the future, I'll be going off through the week looking for music to play on our shows going forward. So you will know if you're getting played on our show, probably day of or maybe a day before. Obviously, I don't get paid for this yet. So we're not just doing this all day, you know what I'm saying? We do it when we got some free time. But Sunday nights is when we go in. So the grind is about touring, all right? We'll talk about other aspects of this thing, but this is about when you're on the road, right? And I've seen websites where they talk about, take the first aid kit and the throat lozenges. And
But the question is, what do you really need to bring?
What do you really need to bring is your mindset. That's the number one thing that you're going to need going on the road is you need to be tough. You can't be a pussy.
You can't go running on back to home.
Well, here's the deal, and if we're talking about where you're at on a tour and where you're going, if you're doing a small tour and you're close to home, I guess you could forget your phone charger, right? And just drive back the half hour to go get your phone charger, right? You're just in a college town nearby or something, nearby your hometown. But if you're trying to,
but what if you're about 50 to 100 miles away?
Well, that's even more. You got to be more like 300-400 miles away. If you're trying to do a circuit, you're trying to get a circuit going and do an actual tour, you're not going to be close to home. You're going to be about 300-400 miles away. Like, that's reasonable. That's a reasonable distance for starting out getting your tour going. So,
right.
you can't forget your phone charger. You can't be on your third city, fourth night in the tour and be like,
I'm homesick.
maybe I can go home and do this. Maybe I can go home and do that. I got to get more flyers. I got to, there's no time for that. There's no time for that. And this is, we could talk about the whole old Boy Scout part of being prepared, right? Yeah,
right.
Bring all the stuff you need, pack up, have a checklist. And that might be something that we create. We'll create a check. But you're an adult. You want to make music. You want to go on tour. You want to make money doing this. You shouldn't have anybody telling you what your checklist is going to be. Like, you should already know what you bring in. And remember it and, be prepared on that whole Boy Scout type. But as far as being prepared for being away from home, you're not secure. The safety net is gone. You don't get to just have a bad show home and go back home.
You got to keep it pushing.
You got a bad show, or the venue don't want to, the venue want to cut with you on the door or something, and you only get, $100, $200 instead of the $4 that you made. And we're going to talk about that another week, so you can go to the website and see and read. Like, these things are happening. Here's the thing we got to understand about the mindset. And this goes for white rappers, too, because guess what? You are now in our culture. You are now here with us, right?
Stomping grounds.
And tonight, only nigger music, right? Like, you are doing rap, so you are under the same subject. There is a little bit of privilege there. I see a lot of the, sometimes in a venue where they won't play any rap music, like the guy's nephew's kids doing, gore rap or something, white kids or something doing like 666 rap, and they'll get the show. You know what I'm saying? That's not always the case. You try to go on tour. You're going on tour, you're in the same boat as the rest of us. And when you're doing rap, you got a lot of obstacles to overcome. So this isn't about just, it's not like the old, like an iPhone commercial where the band just packs up and gets in a Volkswagen bus and starts driving around taking pictures. Yeah, it's the highway guy. No, that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? That's not happening. You are going to be on the road, bored, tired, not knowing where you got to pull over because you misunderestimated the gas situation. This is everything. Everything that you can imagine that will go wrong will go wrong. So
be prepared.
Be prepared for that type of stuff. That's why I say the number one thing you need is your mindset. If you have your mindset on, then there's no such thing as a failure. There's only and any setback is really just an opportunity for you to be sharper the very next day.
To overcome it.
And it's more than overcome it, because you can say, oh, well, we're learning these lessons and we'll do it on the next tour. No. You have to adapt for the next stop. You know what I mean? So this is not something that you can go out in the world and, we're going to do the champagne in the hotel rooms with the groupies. First of all, you ain't getting groupies. It's just not happening. You know what I'm saying? There might be one girl out the whole place that digs you and wants to get your number or something. You can hang out later, but nobody's going to be pulling your clothes off. Nobody's rushing the stage. We talk about this all the time. Rappers amongst ourselves, we talk about this all the time. Guys come and they bring 11 rappers. I got a line say, damned if you do and damned if you don't. 11 rappers on the bill and everybody leaving broke, right? Because if you put 4 guys on the bill, then you only got those 4 guys' fans.
Right.
You put 11, you have more fans, but nobody's staying for the other act.
They never do.
Because everybody thinks they what?
The shit.
Bobby Brown. Everybody thinks they're Bobby Brown, And I say that, the My Prerogative video. Now, if you remember the My Prerogative video, he driving up, you know what I'm saying, in the car, the music's already going, crowd's already, we want Bobby, you know what I'm saying?
He just walking the back door
and he's in the elevator, he's looking all cool while he's raising up. Everybody's talking, That's not how it works. You don't get to show up and just do the show. J.I. wanted to see me make a fool of myself one more time. Just one more time. No, but you're the one working. You're the one that's doing the sound check. You're the one that's double checking the door. Like, you don't get to stay in the back room and stare into the mirror like you're James Brown or Dewey Cox. You know what I'm saying? You got to leave that man alone. He needs to think about his whole life before he goes on stage. You ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? There might be a day when that comes, but you're not there.
Not
so
yet.
you are doing everything. You're the one that's at the door with the doorman trying to make sure he don't pocket the $20 extra. You know what I'm saying? Or you giving them an extra 20 to get your email list popping off. The venue ain't talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Because they're serving drinks. They got a business to run. I mean, you don't get to just show up and it be like you a celebrity. You're hardly. You're not even local. Nobody even knows you.
You got to make sure everything's straight.
It's all hard work and no benefit at this point. The only benefit, and this is why you got to have your mindset, the only benefit that you really need to focus on is getting paid. Because you're on tour. You left town. And if you're doing anything worth doing, you're out for a week. Right? That's a tour. We can call it a weekend tour. You're not really on tour because you haven't left really that far if you're doing 3 days.
Yeah.
Right? But and when I'm not and I'm not talking about the dude. I saw this one guy, and I'm not going to knock him. You know what I'm saying? That's whatever. But during the holiday, he was in Brooklyn, and then he went to Chicago for the the next day, and then was back in Brooklyn. That's not a tour. That was a guy that was able to set up a show while he was traveling. You know what I'm saying? While he had to be in Chicago for something, and that's cool. That's all good and well. But a real tour would have been like, well, I got to be in Chicago on this month. I'm leaving a week early, and I'm doing a show in each city going to my destination for the holiday. You know what I mean? That's like a real tour planning. Just being able to book a show, pot shot show here and there, that's cool, but it's not touring. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's nothing wrong with that. And every single live show is an opportunity for you to get your visibility up. So that and I wasn't even going to say that, but that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Get your visibility up, boost your fan base, but it's an opportunity for you to get better.
All right.
On stage, you know? It's every single time you're able to go on stage and do this a little better, do that a little better, be able to move around on stage like this. It's a big stage, I get to do this. I learned how I can move around in a big stage. Oh, it's a small stage, I should tailor my show this way. So next time I have a stage in a show that's intimate and smaller, this is how I'll do it. Maybe I'll even change the set list. Right. You know, I'll learn. You got to adapt. You got to learn. Everything is about learning, you know? So
you got to adapt as soon as possible.
You have to identify what's happening. You got to be aware. You can't be sitting here sipping on lean. And
say you leave home with just $50 in your hand.
I wouldn't. That's all right, well, I'll play.
Just perspective.
I'll play this game.
How would you cut your ends?
There's no way I would never suggest any human leave their house, a musician, with $50 in their pocket. First
How
of
much
all,
would you suggest?
When you're talking about funding, for real funding, on top of everything that you know you're going to need to spend, you have a budget. It's like the United States government.
Okay.
There are two budgets in the government. One is mandatory spending, mandatory federal spending, and the other one is discretionary spending. So when you book a tour and we're going to just use 8 cities because 8 cities is good for like a week and a half. You can go from Wednesday to the next Friday. You know, again, when you're talking about doing a tour, man, a lot of us work. So you got to have some good vacation time coming up, or you got to be ready to like get another job when you come back, right?
Right. You mean you just can't leave a job for no week and a half.
Yeah. I mean, some maybe you can, right? Some it just be like, yeah, I'm doing this, and your boss understands it. For guys like that, then you got a really good situation, and you should start taking your situation more seriously and using it as a launch pad. If you have a job that's going to allow you to go and explore your artistry, have at it. You know what I'm saying? Have at it. Don't waste it. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a waste of that opportunity for sure. But a lot of us, you know, you're taking that risk. So what you're going to need money for where you're staying, right? Be you staying at a hotel, which I do not advise.
What would you advise then if not a hotel?
Well, if you subscribe to the website, I will send you video.
That's the exact question I want.
I will send you a video, and you'll get 3 videos from me, and we'll show you all the different ways that you can save money or spend the way that you would spend money on where you sleep, where you stay, because that's the big thing. Hey, there are rock bands, and I've done it once or twice where you're sleeping in your car,
right?
When you don't have. But see, again, I was sleeping in my car because I wasn't prepared. You know what I mean? Like, because of the things that I didn't know then. If only I knew then what I knew now. It's that kind of situation, right? So I'm in my car because something fell through, something fell apart, you know?
Right.
But the next night I made sure that I was prepared for the next night, that I didn't have to deal with that in the next town, right?
Yeah.
And whether that's going to be linking up with the main artist that you're with, you know, or linking up with one of the artists that you're going to do a show with and seeing if you can crash on the couch, it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? Figure it out. But if you want to learn ways to do that where you don't have to deal with anybody, you don't have to depend on anybody, then subscribe to the website.
Just go to the website.
Subscribe to the website and I'll send you, and all this shit is free. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything I give you is free. I got this little thing on the website where I say if you want to get your song played, what was it, like for 4 weeks on our show, it's like $20 for artists. Sorry if I sound like I'm plugging shit, right? But if you are another live show and you want us to do a commercial or air or talk about you and bring a segment and say it's on you and try to get people onto your show later, even if it's competing with our time, I don't care. There's a price range for that too, you know.
People want to know if we're reviewing music.
We are not reviewing music this week, so I'm sure we're going to lose those viewers, and that's fine because I believe that what we're doing is providing value. So if you think you know this shit, then I guess you don't need us, right? But the guys that I did review back when we were doing reviews,
they always have a spot.
they got a spot right now. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them stuck with us. And one guy that I'm gonna say his name because I don't have him up here, and we plan to put him on next week. And we might even.
Jay Banks is showing love. He's sharing us out.
Jay Banks is another cat too. Like, I think we have. I don't know if we have one of his songs, but there was that one that he did that was the ooh woo ooh.
Oh, yeah.
That was a hot track. You know what I'm saying? So we'll play his again. I know that for sure. We'll mess with him unless that was YouTube. If it was YouTube for guys like Jay, my Chicago people, homeboy, brothers like Block Boy Yada that been rolling with us, cats like Corey Ways. I think that's Block Boy Yada. Let's see, Woody been messing with us pretty heavy. I got those beats coming your way, man. I just been busy with my 9 to 5. My 9 to 5.
Whatever.
Well, maybe it's a 9 to 1. But what I'm doing is I got to train new people because we took over an account somewhere. So I've been losing sleep and such like that. But that was one of the things that I had to put off on for last weekend. We were going to go on New Year's Eve, but then we said, yeah, you know what? I won't be able to do that. Nobody else is even going to watch. They're going to be out drinking. I hope it was safe. I hope it was safe for everybody, right? So, okay, we're going to get back into this idea of being on the road, right? Now, first things you need are going to be the mindset. Then you're going to need your first aid kit. I don't bring lozenges. I don't bring throat things. I bring apples. And more than apples, I don't bring apples with me. I try to make the venue get those for me. So in my rider, in my contract that I provide to venues, I ask for smart water, that is water with electrolytes and vitamins, and apples, because apples work on your throat better than like lemons. And nothing works better than honey. But to avoid having to worry about everything, needs to be a time crunch. Like I said, you're doing everything yourself, right? So you don't have time to wait for the cup of tea to get warm, to get your honey in. You want something, you start snacking on the apple so you can start talking to the venue, talk to your doorman, deal with the artists as they're coming in, because it's your show. Even if you're 400 miles away, if you're the tour, it's your show. Nobody else booked that for you. No, I'm not booking. I like Jay Banks, but I'm not booking a show for him on the off chance he's going to show up here in Topeka, Kansas. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he comes, it's because it's his show and he's booking. He can hit me up and be like, hey, Ant, can you open for me? I need a local dude for 10 minutes. I'll say, sure. I don't want money for it because he's the tour. That's a rule. You know what I'm saying? That's a golden rule for cats that if you're support for a tour that's going around and they want to reach out to you, you give them what they want.
Right.
Hey, what's your mailing address? I'm going to send you 500 flyers. Give you my mailing address. Give me the flyers. I'm not sitting on those flyers, man. Because while the golden rule says no one gets paid but the tour, if the tour comes out really, really nice, yeah, you do kick down. You do kick down. This is a community. If I'm going through your town and all we make is $100 and there's 8 of us, no one's getting it because I can't cut that evenly, right? But if we make $500 and there's 8 of us, yeah, I'll definitely kick $20 to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot, but damn, appreciate you. I got to still be on the road, right?
Right.
So if I'm on the road, I need that gas money. I need that shit. I need the emergency fund. You get to go back home and smoke a blunt and go to work.
Right.
You ain't missing out on nothing. I'm missing out. You know what I'm saying? So the tour is the money. But if you make a lot, you share, right? It's just how you do. You treat others that way. You treat the game that way. You put into the game, you'll get back out. There is a meritocracy when it comes to music. Sometimes you get lucky. The Cash Me Outside girl, you know, she became a meme and now she's signed, and that hurts my feelings. But at the same time, you know, she's actually only going to be as famous as the next hot song she's going to make. Like, the industry and the world has given her rope, and she can either swing from the highest rafters and make it to the next side, or she can turn it into a noose and hang herself. You know what I'm saying? So that's on her now. You know,
Right.
Some of us are just waiting for the rope, you know, because we know what to do. We know how to swing. We know not to make the noose, you know.
Right.
Some guys don't. Some guys don't understand that's what they need to be looking for is the rope. So you get a guy that wants to help you, a manager or somebody, and they don't have a lot of reach, but they're not asking for money, because that's not the way that this industry works. If somebody is serious about what they do and they're serious about you, they're going to work with you to make you both money. They're not going to ask you for money for their help. You know, that's scamming. I don't care how, you know, there's too many legitimate ways to get big in the game to allow guys to start niggalizing it. You know what I'm saying? Where everything's got to be an extra 5. Everything's got to be an extra 10. You know what I'm talking about. You talk to your homeboy about getting them a sack, but you got to hit him over the head an extra 5 because you had to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
Skimming off top.
that's shit you don't need to do when it comes to, you know, trying to make it in the music biz. And if you're trying to be a manager and help out somebody, or be a tour manager or a promoter, if they charging you, don't do it. Do it yourself. And this website will show you how to do it yourself, so you don't need to worry about guys saying, hey, man, for $40, I'll get you played 30,000 times. What does that solve?
So say you on a long tour and it's not successful. Well, I mean, when your hopes get broke down, you got to keep pushing.
Again, mindset.
This is what mindset
Your
is.
first tour, your second tour, your third tour, you're going to come back broke. That's just the way it is. It might be until your 10th tour. But that's mindset. In the website, I say you cannot be a pussy. You need to be a Spartan. You need to be straight. This is Sparta! And give me the road. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on this. This is what I got to do to make it. Because it's not the first time. And it's not the second time. It's not the third time. It might be the 11th, 12th, 13th time before you even start breaking even.
And that's what you're going to have to accept.
But if you're professional and you do everything you're supposed to do, take all the steps you're supposed to take for promotion, where the venue feels comfortable with you, you will be able to book that venue 12 consecutive times, even though neither of y'all made a lot of money. But if you give any inkling that you just some goofy ass fucking street hood thug part-time rapper, you know, some gangbanger who just happens to rap and want to think that he's going to take it seriously or whatever, or just some fucking asshole who doesn't belong in the game but has some talent, right? There's guys with talent that shouldn't be anywhere near a microphone because they ain't doing shit with it, right? We know all those. We know motherfuckers like that. Then the venue will see that too. They've been doing this a long time, man. They work with rock bands, they work with singers, they work with comedians, they work with everybody. And if they see that you ain't on your square, they'll let you get your show up, because that's how they found out you weren't on your square, by letting you have that night. And then when it comes time to getting paid, and then when it comes time to start calling them again 3 months later, you ain't getting, nobody's picking up the phone. You know, Brian, the day manager, you're calling, like, hey, Brian, it's me, Nick. Oh, hey, hi. Yeah, is John in? I wanted to talk to him about a date. No, but I'll tell him you called. He'll call you back. and you don't get that call back. You know what I'm saying? And now you can't go to that town because that's the only venue that will play your black ass or your rap ass, right? So you just broke a chain in a circuit. You can't even hit that town, which would save you gas or replenish your gas fund to the next town. You just have to ride through that whole city and use all that gas or try to find another route, and you're just using resources and not collecting resources. So professionalism is the key, but it's mindset. If you don't have the mindset on, if you have the mind that says, okay, well, I'm going to go in, this has to be, I need to, this first tour, I'm not making money. This first tour, I'm not getting fans. This first tour, I'm building relationships with these venues. I'm building relationships with the other artists. You know what I'm saying? That's what your goal is, and that's about the mindset. The mindset says, yes, there's a light at the top of the attic, but there's still steps in order to get there. You can't just like float to the light and shit. Right. You have to look down and start seeing that there's a step here and a step there and a step here. And guess what? When you're talking about music, when you're talking about rap music, there's some steps missing.
Oh,
so you can't just keep looking at the light and walking because you're going to break something. You know what I'm saying? You're going to fall through the crack that wasn't there, and you're going to hurt yourself and possibly even kill your career. So you can't just keep looking at the light. You got to look down, look around you, see where you're at, what you need to do, and make those moves necessary. So like when you go into a city, you got promotion to deal with, right? You have to do that. And there's a segment that we have. It's called Painting the Town. That's in part 2 on the website of the plan. But I'll just talk about it a little bit right here. You go in during the day. You start painting. You start hitting the spots. You want to be in an area, like all your venues, and we were talking about this before. You go to New York, right? The New York New Year's Eve just happened just now. Think about anybody that lives in New York or knows someone from New York or knows about New York, essentially, that's everyone in the world. Think about all the New Year's Eve Facebook invites, right, that went out in the world. How do you, if you're going to do a show in New York City, how are you going to stand out from all of that, especially if no one knows who you are because you're the outside tour. You're an unknown.
Well, how would you get their attention?
You don't get their attention. What you need to do is tour in college towns and smaller towns, where if you're the entertainment that night, it's between you and like maybe 2 or 3 other things that people can do, including going out to eat and going to a movie. So there's only actually one other thing that somebody is providing this city other than you. Because I'm not going to include the club nights and the DJ spin. That's just going on every Saturday, every Friday, every weekend, I'm talking about you coming into town. You got to line up, you and 3 other rappers, for that night. And across town or across the street or down the downtown area, there's a rock band, a rock night. Or comedians going on, something happening. You want those towns.
So
now,
smaller towns.
And it doesn't have to be the smallest of towns. Kansas City is a good idea. Like I said, we are in Kansas. And so this is the perfect way to explain this is in Topeka, there's nothing. There's no place to go where you can find a concentrate of people to promote what you're doing. You have to go to Facebook. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the only way.
So you have to use the internet. Now, if you go to Lawrence, you can walk up and down Mass Street because all the KU, University of Kansas, the Jayhawks students are walking up and down that street. You go to Manhattan, they've got an actual small neighborhood called Aggieville. That's all their bars and live music venues. And all the students from K-State, where the Wildcats play, are going over there. So you can hit them up. And it's concentrated. Kansas City, they got those 2 areas. Westport, they got the Power and Light District. You start promoting out there. If you have a show close by, you're hitting people that are walking in the streets. So if you're in a town where like bring up New York. We were talking about Queens, and we were talking about Topeka. Queens is the size of Topeka, and it's more people. So you can't even go across Queens to promote your show on the east side of Queens. You can't go to the south side. Nobody on the south side of Queens is coming to the east side of Queens just because you're doing a show. They either staying over there on their side of town, hanging with their family, hanging with their peoples, going to a different show because it's New York. You ain't the only rap show that night. Even if it's a Tuesday night, you ain't the only rap show. You're going to get drowned in the sauce and in the noise on a Tuesday in New York. So, no, hit Rochester. Hit Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Hit Connecticut. Hartford. There's a lot of brothers out in Hartford doing some stuff with music now, with hip-hop. So, and they have been, but they're starting to create a nucleus, an energy base.
Right.
So when it comes to that part of touring, yeah, you just gotta be smart about what the circuit looks like. If you do a southeast circuit, if you do a southeast circuit like the circuit I could do here in this area, it's got some distance to it, right? I got to travel a little bit, but there's a lot of places I can go. There's University of Missouri in Columbia, Missouri. There's St. Louis. There's Springfield. There's Little Rock. That if I wanted to go east and south and come back around through Arkansas and Oklahoma, I could do that. Or I can go west, or like a northwest and hit St. Joseph, Missouri, Kansas City, Omaha, Lincoln, Nebraska, and then come down around to the western parts of Kansas. Not going to get a lot out there, but you can probably get a show or two. You can go south towards Texas. You know what I'm saying? New York, you have a lot of places to go to. If you're in the Utah, you have a rough time. You have a rough time. You have a rough time. You're going to go from Salt Lake City to St. George, and that's a trip. And if you're trying to get anywhere west of there, you're going through mountains, the rest of Utah, to get to Nevada. So you're using up all that gas. So circuits matter, right? Like the way you decide to do your tour matters. So you can't just tie in a bunch of big cities. And that's what I was saying about the guy who was in Brooklyn one night, then Chicago the next, and then went back to Brooklyn the other. He had 3 shows like that. Pop, pop. And I'm thinking, that's pot shot. It's cool, but that's not a tour. You know what I'm saying? That's not
just booking a show.
That's just booking a show. And that's cool. Like I said, I don't mind it. It builds. Every single time you're able to do something to build your brand, you do it. But when it comes to touring, you have the pressure of building your brand properly and the pressure of not dying on the road.
So what about
in
the
a figurative
engineers?
sense or a literal
So
sense?
say you get to where you need to be going. And
Okay, so like you're talking about between a sound man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's etiquette. Now this is just an etiquette point, right? You get there, and again, you have to fight this Bobby Brown complex, this my prerogative complex. You can't sit there and be like, well, I'm gonna go and show up at 9 o'clock and we'll get this show started. No, you gotta be there at fucking 2 when they open the door, so that the owner can tell you if you can do a sound check at 7, or if the sound man comes in at 5 and you got from 5 to 5:15, and then you need to be there. And if they say, yes, sound guy be here at 6, you be here at 6. Even if he's not. And don't get mad. It's not your place to be mad about that. You are at the whim of every venue you work with. You are hip hop. You don't have a voice, right? They already are scared to put you on because they think you're going to shoot the place up, or your fans are going to shoot the place up. So let's just get that one out of the way right now, especially when you listen to all the music that's in these SoundCloud groups. And it's all the same shit that's going on right now. The Lil Yachty sound, the Migos sound, all that stuff, the triplets, all the mumble rap that all these guys are emulating because that's their era. That's what they're rapping like. As soon as you show them your demo and you give them your press kit and it sounds like that, that's the first thing that's on their head. Is the blackest motherfuckers they can think of.
Yeah.
Because most of these venue owners aren't black. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about the reason we got there, whatever. I'm just saying this is a fact. The venues you're gonna talk to, especially in Middle America, they're not used to. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's the fact that I'm in Kansas that I figured I've had to figure out how to maneuver the eggshells on top of, you know what I'm saying, everything else. Maybe in New York, you don't have to deal with that. I never did a show in New York, so I don't know. I stay away from the Northeast. You know, but maybe if you did it there, they don't care. They're like, yeah, no, it's just rap. We do this shit 3-4 times a week. You know what I'm saying? But out here, you gotta like convince them that you're a safe, a locked safe walking in. You have to be the most secure event that they want. You know what I'm saying? And you got to do this over email, over the phone, because you're not there. You can't just drive the 400 miles to book in person just to go back the next 400 miles to do the show.
I can
3 months
imagine
later.
it'd be challenging.
It is challenging. It's very challenging, but that's why mindset is everything. And again, all this stuff is on the website. So yeah, if the engineer is available to do the sound check, you do the sound check. If the sound guy isn't there and they told you 5:30 and you got there at 5:25, and he's not there, and you're not sure, hey, do you know, maybe when he might show up? Yeah, I don't know. And you could say, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take about 30 minutes. So from now to about 6, I'm going to do some more last minute promo close to the venue. And so I'll be here. I'll be within foot distance. And at 6, I'll come back. So if he comes, just let him know I'll be here at 6, you know. And you let them know. Communicate your every move. If you communicate your every move to the venue, that's the kind of thing that they go, all right, I know what he's on, you know. He's serious. He wants me to know everything he's doing. And I have no worries. Because the venue, you book them, right, or they book you, you went and got a booking, and at 7 o'clock, they don't know where you are, it's a bad sign. They don't start thinking, oh, you know what, it'd be great if we had him again. You ain't even done the show yet, but he's already getting sarcastic like rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's in his head. It's like, this motherfucker thinks he's Drake already. You know what I'm saying? Like, not showing up. And the engineer, they getting paid by the hour, so the venue's really mad. You costing them money. You haven't even said a word. You already cost them money just for them saying yes to that day, because they plan to have somebody in that day with sound. Their sound guy isn't there every day. You know what I'm saying? That sound guy works in all the 5 different bars. You know, he's a contractor. He's an independent contractor. So yeah, no, They said, all right, well, how much are we charging for the whole night? You know, it'd be about $175. All right. And right now, you're $175 in the hole. That's how that works. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works. And sometimes they might get a homie hookup, you know. John, that's been doing our sound for 30 years. Yeah, he might do it for $50. But you're still $50 in the hole. You got to generate $50 before you can even walk out of there with anything.
So you have to pay them off first, then comes your money.
You're not paying them. Like I said, they're willing to accept the loss if it happens that way, because that's their job. Their job, if they're saying that we've got the sound, that's what they do. Now, they pay the $50. You get 2 people in there, and they were here already and didn't have to pay to be there. So you broke the whole spot up. That $50 that they expected to come from the door, they don't get it, but you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid. You know, so, and as far as how to deal with the venue, we'll do that on another show. Like how to deal with the venue itself, we'll do on another show. But this one is just about being out there on the road. You know what I'm saying? So this was a real short live. I just wanted to talk to y'all, let y'all know this is kind of how we're going to be going about this. If you've been sticking with us, you're going to get some information. We're going to talk. We're going to have, we're going to have ourselves a conversation about how to be successful as underground artists. We're even going to get into the streaming online here in a couple of weeks. And for those of you that were messing with us back in the day, and I was talking about that top secret group, I'm still compiling some of the files and things that you're going to need to take full advantage of your membership in that group. It's not for charge, but I'll be like a selection process. We'll be vetting artists before we let them in this in this group. But it's not ready yet. There's a lot that has to go there. Yeah, top of the world, top of the flight of the world security, whatever they call it. But
You still gonna be playing music for?
yeah. When we come out, I'm just gonna right now. These are the artists, that we love at Rap Vet Live. We're gonna play them out, and like I said, going forward, we'll be asking for submissions, and it won't be live, but I'll be vetting artists. We're not playing music that you're not going to submit some track that's not hot to this show. It's just not happening. So it's not going to be. You're not going to take us by surprise. I'll put it that way. You know what I'm saying? You can submit whatever you want to submit, but if it's not of the caliber, then
it will not get played.
If it's not going to get a legacy point from us, it's not getting played. And if you're getting played, you'll know. And like I said, man, if any of y'all that don't get played, you don't want to watch this or share it or whatever, I don't care. This is for you, right? So if you're watching, it's helping you. But as far as the guys that are getting played, those are guys that submitted, and we let them know, yeah, you're about to get played. So, they can do the sharing. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this for everybody. I'm doing this for the serious ones. And if you just making music because you love it, more power to you. I love you. But if you want to do something real with this music and not have to spend $300, $450, $20, $85, $40 left and right, just money coming out of your wallet for stupid shit that's not really gaining you anything, then come here to our page, join the website, subscribe, and get the free information. I'm trying to help everybody because we only make it when we make it together. So I'm Anthemus. With me, Mighty Neil. Bronze will be with us probably next week or so. We love Bronze. And we're gonna play the guys that was messing with us. So if you with us, then you getting played and you in the site, or you on the show, congratulations. We love you more than others. Or I could find you. You know, there was one page that I had that we did reviews. I couldn't find it, and there was a couple dudes that I wanted to play and I couldn't. And I apologize to you fellas. But again, when you see me on these, and I'm gonna make a whole profile that's just Rap Van Live, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have to look like me on the SoundCloud. You'll see I'm gonna ask for music. You send it, I'll listen to maybe the first 50. You know what I'm saying? So if it's anything over 50, you probably just don't want to submit that week. You know what I'm saying? Or just hit us on Messenger and take initiative, right? Who knows? But we'll vet and we'll try to find the best 10 tracks or best 9 or 10 tracks that we can play for everybody, and we'll let the guys know if you've been selected, so you can share the video and get people to message us where we can talk about whatever. If you're able to make your own commercial and want us to play it on our show,
it's possible.
It's possible too. It's a much cheaper than if we have to do it for you. So if you're an artist and you don't care about the submission part and you want to just have your music played in the rotation and just have a staple and have some real estate on this show for a month straight, it's $20 on the website through PayPal. So you can do that. We're not doing submissions in dollars and give me $1, I'll put you to the top of the list. Nah, I'm not doing any of that. We're not doing reviews because I seen motherfuckers doing reviews in the closet, and I'm like, you know what?
That is Mr. Ho Show.
If niggas can do reviews in closets and people take them seriously, I don't want any part of that. You know what I'm saying? I want to give something else to the rap community. I want to give something else to my Facebook and SoundCloud rapping friends, and I think this is it. So we're going to break into all of that. I love all of y'all. It's 2018. We're going to make this a really good year, and if you have questions, we'll be able to take more questions going on in the future. We'll have J.I., the IT guy, relay those to us. And so Happy New Year, everybody, and enjoy the music, man. You might be on here, right? Of course, I'm going to have like zero people when the music plays, but if you're here, then you know, have at it. Have fun.
Hope you got something out of it.
Peace out, everybody. Happy New Year, and we will be back next Sunday at 9 p.m.
Now I won't fall, 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 now I won't fall. I don't know y'all, please don't call, bet I won't stall, see no wall, move freely through my horoscope. They love me cause my aura dope. The more pain, the more I spoke. I was ordained with the sword I hold. Thoughts grain over chords I wrote. The more I smoke, the more I record the code. With my hand I wrote the antidote. Sanskrit the manifold. Translating the grand fate. Man's hand can't stand a glance. Face elimination, divination, assimilation, innovation. Throw my fists in the ground when this vision's profound. The God sitting around the table, limits are boundless. It's clear the spirits surround us. Never fear when it's there around us. Now I won't fall, 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 now I won't fall. Who really know? Who really see? Who feeling me? True imagery. Who kidding me? Who enemy? Who's sending me these signs to get? Who's inventing all these rhymes to spit divine risk through a timeless rift? They wonder if I'm legit. I'm aligned with it, the one who designed the gift. Pressure, what makes it most me. No, you can't break or fold me. They used to hate the old me. Still hate what they don't show me. Too late, homie. Now they say they know me. Scared they gon' stay below me. I'm about to take what they never gave me. So please, no, I won't fall. Now 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 I won't. Now I won't. Now I won't fall. 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 now I won't fall, now I won't fall, now I won't, now I won't, now I won't fall, now I won't fall.
The way of the samurai is found in death. Meditation on inevitable redemption. Every day when one's body and mind are at peace, we should meditate upon being ripped apart by arrows, rifles, spears, and swords. Being carried away by surging waves, being thrown into the midst of a great fire, being struck by lightning, being shaken to death by a great earthquake, falling from 1,000-foot cliffs, dying of disease, or committing seppuku at the death of one's master. And every day without fail, one should consider himself as dead. This is the substance of the way of the samurai.
This is an MB13 production.
Fuck a comparison, don't be embarrassing. Niggas will hate while I'm cherishing. They could be arrogant, thinking that better than someone with skills of a veteran. Bitch, I'm intelligent, you're on that jealous shit. You just talk shit for the hell of it. Don't be irrelevant, I'm on that mission complete, I don't save a next level shit. Arson is solo, I'm loving it, but I'm not the one to be fucking with. You say you get money, then post it on the web, you probably get that from the government. But again, I understand that you're suffering. I do things on my own, nigga, fuck a friend. I've been alone with for a long time, probably till I die on my own at the end. I'll never stop even if I turn legend. If I do fuck it, I'm lucky at 7. I want that first, I don't believe in second, cause people still sleeping on me like a dead end. Scream at the top of my lungs like a reverend. Hold me back, I'll split your ass in a separate. Lost a friend cause he kept asking for money and sit on his ass. I don't think I'm a blessing. You learned your lesson, but you're not my enemy. Don't fuck around and think about the fantasy. You think you know it all incorrect. You think you have to be right about everything. Can't be around me, you negative energy, cause all the energy always surrender me. No wonder why that you no longer friends with me. Other than that, it was fun while it lasted in the memories. Ain't no friendship, then you lost it. That shit is 6 feet in the dirt in the coffin. Get out the house and start doing some walking. Get you a job and go get that deposit. I can't tell you shit cause you're always on topic. Always all talking, always this office. Hygiene's atrocious, please just stop it and get your head out your ass so you can wash it that often. Don't be telling people about my schedule. That shit piss me off is unacceptable. Don't think everything evolve around you. Use some common sense and fuck the rest of them. You just like to talk, but you won't invest. When it comes to singing, you think you the best. Sounds horrible. Do not call my phone, motherfucker. I just put that shit at rest. So you never heard of me, I never had the guts to make a murder scene. Your accuracy and strong as Hercules. A lot of y'all niggas fuck with me and I'ma murder y'all ass in first degree. I'll be good, cause karma's a curse to me. People's daily bullshit don't concern to me. Niggas around the city claim they got the crown. The only crown they got is from Burger King. Last year, 2016, was like a quarterback, receive a lot of sacks. Can't even shop in a store, I look suspect, cause my hoodie black. The only time when motherfuckers cry is when another nigga speak the realest facts. If lyricism was a caliber, I'd have popped his ass through his daddy cap. In the bracket, taking out opponents. I'm the winner, I deserve a bonus. Known in the city, but no further notice. Life got a youngin' feeling soulless. Stay to myself and chillin' in the casa. Real life, ain't nobody gotcha. People count me out like I'm a deadbeat father, like I accidentally burst out saliva. Niggas want women that knows how to cook. Females want guys based on the looks. We all fucking get it. Life is a story. Is that what hoes over their legs like a book? Painting is all I see when I first log in. People can't handle the word which is honest. One more thing before this crazy ass song in. Here is the part when I go off like Sonic. Psych. Only when I'm live.
Got you. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, bright lights, the allure of the nightlife. Hindsight 2020, what it look like, what it look like. In hindsight, we might just be lost in the world. Bright lights, the allure of the nightlife. Hindsight 2020, what it look like, what it look like. In hindsight, we might just be lost in the world. Hop into it, I'm just cruising today. Drinking and smoking my troubles away. Thinking the oceans where I could just lay. Thinking the ways where I could get paid. Mama, she pray that I get away from demons. But mama be dreaming, bright lights be gleaming. Market be shining, out for the diamond. Gold in the iron, still not an option. Niggas be watching, triggers be cocked. And penitentiary be flooded. Shout out to all my beloved. Picked up this rap shit, instead of this trap shit. Too often get lost in the everyday ambiance. Drink, smoking, vibing, all for the audience. Hop on the party bus, smoking an ounce of the, drinking an ounce of the, lost in the world. Bright lights, the allure of the nightlight. Hindsight 2020, what it look like, what it look like. In hindsight, we might just be lost in the world. Bright lights, the allure of the nightlight. Hindsight 2020, what it look like, what it look like. In hindsight, we might just be lost in the world.
Reflection is where the tension is. I make thought bubbles burst like appendixes. My mama told me I should be home before the red light starts scaring and thinking it's police. Headlights set sight. We could hold the bill before the sea set. Charts on the open sails. The golden trail left me up to mostly fail. I make way for the fight and control the scale. Whoa, no, don't show no weaknesses. They won't leave or believe this shit. Create scenes of my seamlessness. I lay waste to my past and my reason is Holy Ghost. No, they don't know my folks, know my woes. Life's more than photo posts. I'm oh so close to making it in solo shows, but hindsight further than the close road goes.
Bright lights, the allure of the nightlight. Hindsight 2020, what it look like, what it look like. In hindsight, we might just be lost in the world. Bright lights, the allure of the nightlight. Hindsight 2020, what it look like, what it look like. In hindsight, we might just be lost in the world. I can show you what it look like when a man is on the edge about to lose it. I guess I'm lost. I've been trying to find solutions for a problem that's internal, burning every single bridge that I done crossed. I've been fighting a war, and I ain't ever gonna win. I ain't ever gonna win. So if you wanna ask me how I'm doing, just expect a dry response, because these bars I got don't let nobody in. I can show you what it feel like to be caught up in some bullshit that nobody else would ever understand. I tried to talk to God, waiting on a reply, so I just looked at the sky and hoped that somebody heard. I can show you what it sound like to be talking to yourself, all alone in a room with nobody else, dancing with the devil every time they test my levels. In the final Pro Tools track bounce, lost in the world. Bright lights, the allure of the nightlight. Hindsight 2020, what it look like, what it look like. In hindsight, we might just be lost in the world. Bright lights, the allure of the nightlight. Hindsight 2020, what it look like, what it look like. In hindsight, we might just be lost in the world.
Wanna go to Foxwoods every other weekend, drink till I get spins, act look better with the rims. My friend said I need to slow down, but I just wanna win. And this is going so well, from the women to the hotel. Big lips, nice toenails, even got a couple cats by my coattails. All for the love of coke sales. I got another card, stick shift, handful of women on my hit list. Every single one of them is dick whip. Mess with my miss and your press will get twisted. I just wanna have a better life, take over the world when I get my cheddar tight. I never knew right. 2020 vision, long as we don't see red and blue lights.
Bright lights, the allure of the nightlight. Hindsight 2020, what it look like, what it look like. In hindsight, we might just be lost in the world. Bright lights, the allure of the nightlight. Hindsight 2020, what it look like, what it look like. In hindsight, we might just be lost in the world.
Might be lost in the world. That shit y'all rapping's hocus pocus, which one's the vandal? I'm hot as hell, I guess a virgin must have lit the candle. See all my bars, they come in tools, that's a bite with handles. I'll leave you smoking 20 shots, that's a box of Camels. You couldn't spit with 2 cheeks full of snuff and Shasta. You play my track, they bring it back like it's the fucking rapture. I'm fresh as mint, double that. I'm getting cheese, double stack. Hold up, stop the track, double back. I get it poppin', double bubble, that's a bubble rap. Me and Creek, that's double trouble. 2 phones, double tapped. 2 chains of defenders watching. I hope they heard none of that. I'm praying twice, my niece and nephew saved from all the devil's traps. I was 16 when I caught my mama smoking reefer, but quite frankly, I still respect her like her name Aretha. I used to jam Wayne so much I called my mama Sita. A Nas fan dissing me, I'll send them back some ether. I know a fake hustler by the name of King B. He loved this game into the game and tried to king me. I hit him for a sack, told me it was 10 to G. Asked about a QP, told me still 10 to G. Man, what the fuck is that? Tell me where they do that at. At first I was confused as fuck, but that's until I heard him rap. Had me laughing so hard, ER, hurt my back. Thumbs up or thumbs down, should I let him live or murk the rat? He think he dope, I'll crash his plane and leave no survivors. I can sell water bottles filled up with my saliva. Women run 200 miles for a vibe. I got plenty on me, baby, take your time for now. Hanging out the window screaming Black Lives Matter. White lives matter too, but that's a given factor. I get pulled over 5 minutes back in traffic. My black brother either getting cuffed or zipped up in the bag. Ironically, that's just the ugly truth. They only love the black man on the corner in a suit. Your rhyme softer than a bitch with no leg hair. This murder, use a snitch if you press share. You dig?
My little brother 7 and my daddy just died. The pain in his eyes fucked me all up inside. FYI, live your life. Keep them niggas to the left when you know they ain't right. Moment of silence. Go. Hey. Could it be the way I had to catch up to reality? God keep blessing me, loving me unconditionally. I've been on the mission, see, deeper than the ocean be. Head spinning, it's a roller coaster world, what we be, or where we at. The nigga's supposed to be a nigga, stab you in the back. It's a dirty game, these bitches checking for your stacks. If you got it, then you got the pussy. If you broke, then you whack. These hoes ain't loyal, even Chris Brown told you. All she want is a blunt and a nigga to hold. I had to catch up to myself. I done had a baby with the devil. And God, I need you more than ever. And God, I need you more than ever. And God, I need you more than ever. I had to catch up to myself.